Hey guys, we're back, and I actually changed up things. I actually went back to the Honda for now because, man, I've changed. I've tried a couple different cars, and I really did like the Ferrari. I just don't feel that I'm suited for the Ferrari just yet. I was doing some investigating on YouTube, and the Ferrari, the 2020 Ferrari, is literally like the second fastest car in the game, and I'm lucky if I can make up two positions with it. So obviously, I just don't know how to drive it. So I went back to the Honda for the hell of it just to see how I did, and the race that you're about to see is me with the Honda. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the setup here. So I am using the aggressive setup. I have been using that. Wait a minute. What is this? Are you sure? All unsaved progress will be lost. I don't know why they're telling me that. Let's do the current setup. Okay, so the current setup is the aggressive preset. Like I say, I've been practicing a lot more with the aggressive, and this is like the only thing I've been using now. And honestly, it's so confusing with this game because literally the YouTubers that you search, they'll tell you a different thing, every one of them. Some of them will tell you that the aggressive preset is a great preset and that you can definitely be competitive with it. And then I've heard other YouTubers say that the aggressive preset is just complete trash and you need to do your own setup, which, you know what, I'm not going to pay someone to do a setup for me. And honestly, guys, I'm not a mechanic, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've been using the aggressive preset, and the only thing I really change is my fuel strategy. It starts you off like 61 liters. I drop it down to 35 because you don't need 60-some liters for a 20-minute race. Literally, I think it's like 15 or 16 laps depending on how fast you are. So I find out that 35 is good. I've tried like 28 or 29, and that like just barely got me through a race. So I set on 35. I thought that was actually perfect. So that's the only thing I've changed with the setup is the fuel. So guys, wish me luck because the only thing that's left is to get out there and race the race.
Going double file.
Alright, so as usual guys, I'm starting in 19th because I'm still trying to get my SA up, which I don't know, I'm starting to feel like that's just a lost cause. I don't know how much I'm going to have to race to get that up, but we're going to keep this whole race in as usual. I'm not going to edit anything out so you guys can see exactly what mistakes I make. And I can learn from it, you can learn from it, and we can all have a little bit of a laugh, I guess. I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's starting to be a little bit of a frustration because it just seems like I'm not getting better, and I don't really understand why. So after you watch this, if there's anybody out there watching this that, you know, is pretty good at sim racing, if you want to give me any tips or tell me what I'm doing wrong, I'd appreciate it. So we did get off to a bad start. Now, one of the biggest issues I find is that I can take some of these turns a lot faster than the AI does. And I had to turn the AI down, actually, because I just couldn't keep up. And with as sad as that sounds, they were only on 83%. But you know what? I'm going to tell you guys this. If you're a beginner, don't worry about it. Like, don't listen to people. Don't let people tell you to put the AI on, like, the max or whatever. Do what you can keep up with. Because if you can't keep up with the AI, you're not going to have any fun at all. And if you're not having fun, then you definitely are going to get better because you're not going to want to play. So turn the AI down to a level that you can keep up and you could be at least a little competitive and have a bit of a good time, because that's the most important thing, is having fun. There's plenty of time later that you can, you know, get faster, get better, play against real opponents who are a lot more skilled than you. But when you're just starting out, you know, you gotta do something to make it fun, man. Because racing around the track and being in last all the time and not being able to get faster, it's just not an enjoyable experience. So I do feel like this Honda is a lot more stable. Well, maybe not a lot more stable. Maybe for my skill set, like the Ferrari is a great car, man. I still love that car. It's just I'm not great at driving it. And the worst part is I'm not consistent. And honestly, I don't know how to get my consistency. Like, no matter what I try to be consistent, and it just doesn't seem to work for some reason. But I mean, in a way, it's a good thing because I can go through this with you guys, and you guys can see it. And if you're going through the same thing, you know, maybe you can feel a little better about yourself, being like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm not the only one. Like, other people are having this issue as well. Now, I would say if you guys don't know who PowerQ is, go check out PowerQ's channel because he is like a super positive guy, and he does Assetto Corsa Competizione content. He has his own league on PC and stuff, and he's just a really good guy that has a really good outlook on things. And you'll see him race in his own league, and sometimes he'll come in last and he'll just make mistakes and spin out. And you know, it's just nice to see a YouTuber not afraid to show that side of their racing. But now we are in P17 and we're not doing too bad. Like I said, this car, I feel like I'm more confident with this car than I am with the Ferrari. Now, this car is by no means as fast as the Ferrari. But I have time to work my way up to there. And honestly, guys, the other thing I would say... Oh, yeah, this is, Okay, no, that was a different race. Dang it, I wish I would have got that race. There was another race I did that there was an accident on that corner. And, I don't know how the hell I got out of it without a scratch, but I managed to. And I will say, because I'm recording over the race because I don't record live normally when I race. You guys know that about me. This is so far the best race that I've recorded yet. I've had another race that I was doing really good. I was in 12th, and I just blew it. I find that the concentration levels that you have to have while you're racing are just like so important. You just have to concentrate so much. And again, that may sound like a no-brainer, but it's really true. So that was a screw up right there. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I can hit that 100 times perfectly and then get me in a race, and I just do stupid things like that. I feel like I'm pushing it too hard instead of just getting around the track with how I feel comfortable. I'm trying to push it a little further when I'm racing. I apologize. And what I should be doing is when I'm practicing without any cars on the track, that's when I should be trying to push the car to the limits more, not when I'm in a race. But it's frustrating when you've raced, 10, 20 races and you can't do better than 17th place. So it gets frustrating. Now, one thing I notice is that I'm much more comfortable when it's just me and one other car like we have here, rather than me and like 5 or 6 cars ahead of me, because that just makes things a little more tricky. And honestly, you know, I feel like it's just going to come down to experience. It's just the more I do it, the better I get. And honestly, I have no idea what kind of time frame I'm actually looking at. I don't know what kind of time frame it's going to take to get better. You know, I've been told that I'm way too hard on myself because literally just last, like, what was it, a week or two ago, I wouldn't even be able to keep the car on the track without the line. And I wouldn't be shifting, so I really need to practice what I preach. Like I always say, you know, you gotta take the small victories, and, you know, it's definitely a small victory, but it is a victory. The fact that I can race around here without the line, I don't have any assist on. All I have on is traction control and like ABS, and those are things that the cars actually have in real life. But other than that, I don't have the stability control on or any of that kind of stuff. So this part here, this part of the track, I have such a love-hate relationship. Like sometimes I do really well, and other times I just take that way too wide and just blow it. And again, this is kind of my spot to shine right here. It seems like no matter what car I'm in, if I drop down to second, I can get out of this corner a lot faster, and I can catch the AI a lot better than if I would have went in third. And another thing, as I get nervous when I come up on the cars, because like that there, you know, he stopped way sooner than I would have stopped, and so, you know, I bumped him, and then that screws up your SA. So that's something that I really need to try to work on, getting better driving with other cars. I feel I'm either in one of two modes. I'm either too aggressive or I'm not aggressive enough. And I need to somehow find the sweet spot. And again, this is a part of the track that I feel fairly confident in. But then this next corner, it sometimes can mess me up. This whole sector right in here is one that I really need to work on. But it's one I need to work on when there's cars on the track, not by myself. And so that's going to be my my next little tip, guys, is that once you learn the track, once you can get around the track fine, practicing without the line, and you're shifting and you're getting around it fine, then do that less and practice more in races. Just do 20-minute races. I found the 10-minute races aren't really long enough. The 20-minute races are right in a nice sweet zone where you have enough time where you can try to get your SA up and you can do a lot better. Because honestly, when you're learning a track, you don't want to learn the track in a race. But once you learn it, there's really no point in constantly practicing it with no cars on it. Because again, it may sound like a you know, kind of a dumb thing to say, but driving around a track full of cars is a lot different than driving around, you know, with you're the only car on the track. So as of right now, I'm not doing too bad. And actually, you know what? I just noticed that I don't have the little information on the screen telling me how much time is left in the race. That's a problem. I need to get that back up there. That's an issue. So again, we're in that corner that, you know, I feel like I can make up a lot of time there. But then you get into this sector, and they always follow the same line. So you think I would know that and try to go the opposite way, but instead I try to follow the same line.
Clear on the left.
And that's another thing with the Honda. It's a lot more stable in first gear. Like, it doesn't... With the Ferrari, when you're in first gear, man, if you hit that gas a little too hard, you lose that car easily. But with the Honda, I noticed that it wasn't so much like that. So now, as you can see, we're right up with the middle of the pack here. I feel that if I was a more aggressive driver, I could have made some big moves. But instead, I'm playing it safe, and I'm just sort of keeping up with them, I guess. Now, it's not that I don't want to pass them. I do, but I'm really trying hard to race clean. I'm finding it very difficult. I think that's because I've been an arcade racer for such a long time, where it really didn't matter if you bumped cars or kind of pushed your way up to the front. So I'm really trying hard to race a clean race. And again, the thing is, like, I'm constantly racing while Brands hatch because it's a lot of work to learn a new track. And I don't feel like I want to move on to a new track until I'm really comfortable racing on this track with other cars, and I'm just not there yet. I feel like I'm getting there, but I'm just not there yet. And not only that, like, I've tried a couple other tracks, and I don't know. I tried Silverstone, and there were like no markers that I could see. I couldn't see a lot of markers, so I'm not quite ready to go on a track that I have to use like trees and signs and stuff like that. So I need to find a track that's got proper markers on it. That's what I need to do. But now we're in P16, so like, I don't feel like I'm doing bad. Like, for my skill level, there's no way in hell that I'm going to go from 19th to like podium. I'm just not there yet, and I know it's sad because I literally have the AI on the weakest AI, and I'm still not. I can't even get in the top 10. But I guess you gotta crawl before you can walk, right? So right here, that I felt like that was a pretty good maneuver. Again, that corner is such a slow corner for me, but we got past him, and now we're in P15, so I'm pretty happy with that. At this point, I was pretty pleased with my driving. It's probably the best I've driven yet. And again, my SA rating has been going from like 21 to 23, and now it's 24, which 24 is probably the highest it's been yet. So yeah, I really need to work on being a safer driver. But now I have my sights set on those two, or do I? Basically what I'm doing right here is I'm just trying to get around the track. I'm not really concerned about... Ooh, that one scared me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm lucky I saved that, because that could have went all kinds of bad for me. I've went wide on that corner so many times, it's not even funny. But again, it's like, you know, I feel like I can concentrate a lot better when I don't have cars around me, because I can just focus on the track. I'm just driving. I don't have to worry about what they're doing or anything like that. But that's not racing. Racing is moving up and you know, passing the other cars. So I definitely didn't take that corner as well as I've had in the past. Again, I should have shifted up into 4th. I could have. I had plenty of time. It was redlining. But why I didn't, I don't know. But yeah, guys, don't be afraid to experiment with cars either. Like if you feel like you're not doing that great, try a different car. Try all the cars, figure it out, because it may just be that the car that you fell in love with, that you thought was great, you're just not quite at the level to drive that car yet, or maybe you just don't mesh with that car or something. Because like I say, I feel like back with the Honda, I'm doing much better. And it's funny because when I first got back into the game, in my like first or second video back into it, I wasn't feeling the Honda, but in actual race situation, I feel much more confident with the Honda than I did with the Ferrari. So my Delta's back in the green. And that's another thing, I've been trying to not really pay attention to the Delta as much. Like, I know when I see it in the green, it's good. That's all I really care about. And if it's in the red, well then, I just need to go faster. But I'm not really trying to focus too much on it. And again, this corner here, I feel I do pretty well. I don't know why the AI takes it so slow. So that one I kind of screwed up. I had to drop down in the second gear. But, you know, sometimes you have to do what you have to do to save. At least I didn't spin out. So the leader's on the final lap right now. I'm in P15. I really didn't feel like I was going to finish any higher than this. I mean, these guys were really pushing, but then all of a sudden, you know, I felt like I did a really good job around that corner finally. Like, I took that corner really well. And then that one I did horribly. I feel like I could have braked later on that corner than I did, but again, the Porsche kind of made me nervous. Because there's been times that they've cut right in front of me. So, yeah, I got a little nervous on that. See, again, like right there, that makes me nervous. Because he was so close to me. So I backed off. And again, if I would have just been a little more aggressive, I could have probably taken P13. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like in this next corner I could have. And I tried really hard, but nah, he just walked away from me. So, there it was, P14. So we moved up like 5 places. Not too bad, guys, I gotta say. So, like I say, it's been a struggle, man, it really has, because, you know, and even right there, like, even then, they just tapped into me, I don't understand it. But anyway, guys, yeah, it's been a struggle, it really has been. Alright guys, so that is that race, and we actually did pretty damn good, 14. So my goal is to break the top 10 one of these days. I really don't know, guys. It's like I've been working pretty hard at this. I practice my laps and I do so many races, and for some reason when I just get out on the track with the other cars, I just have nothing. Like I'll do good and then I'll just make stupid mistakes that I just constantly make, and it's really aggravating because I know the track, I know the braking points, and basically what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing. I'm watching the cars and I'm trying to push so hard to get past the cars that I'm missing my braking points. So what I really need to do is just back off and let it happen when it's supposed to happen. And I've been finding out on Brands Hatch, it seems like there's not like a ton of areas that you can overtake. But let's take a look at the timetables real quick. So my best time was a 1:33.36. Now my best time overall was like a 1:30 point something, but of course that was with the Ferrari. And the thing is, man, I really like the Ferrari, but I know it seems weird, but I feel like that the Ferrari is a little too much car for me. I feel much more confident with the Honda, especially when I'm driving closer to cars. I mean, and even then my confidence ain't great. That's what I really need to work on, and I don't know how to overcome that because, like I say, I try to do at least 2 or 3 races every day on this damn circuit, and it's always the same thing. Like I'll do good, and then I'll crash into a car in front of me because they're going so unrealistically slow around a corner that I could take faster. That I like ram into them because I misinterpret how fast they're actually going to go. But anyway, guys, with that being said, that's where we're going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, like I say, this is kind of just as much for me as it is for anybody, just to kind of chronicle these races. But like I say, we did do better. Okay, how can I get back here? We did get a little better, and that we finished 14th. I did race another race that I was actually in 12th place, and then again I screwed up and I blew it. So anyway, guys, if you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you guys are racers, please feel free to leave in the comments anything that you see that I'm doing wrong. Any useful hints or tips are more than appreciated. And we'll see you next time, guys.